Okay, so I just got done purchasing my very first flagship bow from an actual pro shop. This is a very big purchase for me, so I spent the last week testing out this year's flagship bows, last year's, and the year before. Every bow that I tested out was amazing in its own individual way. It was very hard for me to make a decision, but I finally made that decision today. I know a lot of you are about to be mad for what I'm about to say, but it's the truth. Social media did heavily influence my decision. Watching videos and seeing kill shots after kill shot really did affect my decision on which flagship bow that I decided to go with. And what's really cool is watching the bow being used, how I'm going to use the bow. You know, like for instance, hunting on the ground like what you're watching right now. And watching it being used in very thick and dense forests like the woods in my backyard is really cool. And I'm glad that I was able to see that. And watching it in a tree stand, just like what you're seeing right now, is really cool because I also hunt in a tree stand. Watching those videos heavily influenced my decision. It didn't sell me 100%. What actually pushed me to being sold 100% was a lot of the content creators who were not sponsored. And those guys were saying the same exact things that a lot of these professional hunters were saying. That's what pushed me to 100%. But unfortunately, after reading some of the comments and after doing a little bit more research, I found out that the brand that I want has a stigma with it. And I really didn't want that stigma for my channel. So I went back to my pro shop to test out the bows again, and I had it in my mind. I was like, you know what? Screw everything that I saw on the internet. I'm definitely not going with what I want because of social media, and I'm gonna go there with a clean mind. And the reason for that is just because I didn't want to have a label because I aligned myself with a certain brand. But when I was at my pro shop, I kept testing out all the bows and I kept testing them out over and over again. I spent like 2 or 3 hours there. Now, one thing I want to tell you about my bow shop is that my bow tech, he's also been in the archery industry for over 40 years, okay? And he was a pro shooter. So I definitely take what he says to heart, okay? When he talks, I actually shut up and listen. He knows a lot about compound archery, okay? I've only been doing compound archery for the last few years. And most of my archery journey, especially for the last 10 years, has been in traditional archery. Like 10 years ago, I actually used to be really super heavy into war bows, like this 150-pound war bow that you are watching me shoot right now. But I've been doing many different styles of traditional archery, like Asiatic archery, what we call horse bows, like this 40-pound horse bow that you are watching me shoot. And also, I really got involved into speed archery, and that is trying to shoot arrows as fast as possible, like ancient archers used to do. And yes, I don't just shoot fast. Yes, I am accurate with it, as you can see right here. And for the last 10 years, yes, I was doing many different styles of traditional archery, but, you know, I really could never put down and set down the recurve bow. Even though I'm a very experienced archer, especially when it comes to the traditional side, when I'm talking to someone who has 40 years experience, I like to shut up and listen, okay? Because I only have 3 years experience with compound archery. So when my bow tech is talking, I shut up and listen. And I take notes and pay attention. And so I listened to him. And I told him, I was like, man, I really love Matthew's Lift 33X. But the thing is man, I do not want to be called a fanboy online. I was like, I do not want that stigma with my YouTube name. And he was like, man, go with what suits you best. And that's exactly what I did. And for all those who want to call me a fanboy for picking a Matthews for my first flagship bow, go ahead. But at the end of the day, I got what was best for me. And for me, the feel and the grip angle was the best. The draw cycle was the best. I absolutely love the draw cycle on this bow. This draw cycle is so smooth. And the accuracy that you get, I mean, I gotta hand it to Matthews on that. In buying the bow at an actual pro shop was one of the most amazing experiences of my archery journey. I cannot tell you on how awesome it truly was to sit down and to be able to learn from a pro shooter and someone who has been doing it for 40 years and learning all this information. Like, I took notes, guys. I'm not gonna even lie, I took notes. With compounds, for the last 3 years, I've been actually shooting with a 29.5-inch draw length, and my actual draw length is 30.5 inches. But those are the type of things that you learn when you go to a good pro shop. They will size you right. They will make sure that the bow fits you correctly. They'll make sure that your form is good. It was such an amazing experience. Now, every time that I go to pick up my bow and shoot a 350 grain arrow at my 30.5-inch draw length, I know that I'm going to get 330 plus feet per second, which is mind-blowing. I highly recommend this bow. Everybody should get it. Thank you for watching this video, and you have a blessed day in Christ. Bye now.